Here's a profile of an old variety that came up from Mexico called the Puebla avocado. It was actually brought up by Carl Schmidt in 1911, the same time that Fuerte was brought up. These are all Puebla avocados, and this one is a Fuerte. Um, when Schmidt brought them up or sent them up to California, Puebla was labeled number 13 and Fuerte was labeled number 15. So as you can see, the skin of Puebla is totally black when it's ripe. It's also very smooth. Comparing to Fuerte, it's smoother, and of course Fuerte doesn't turn black. Here's a Hass for reference, and this is just a West Indian type, which is also really smooth, but not even as smooth and glossy as the Puebla. I find that the Puebla looks a lot like a Stewart, except it's a little bit stouter and bigger, and I've never seen any cracking around the stem like the Stewart gets sometimes. Opening this guy up, it's got nice color, and it's got a medium large seed, so that's not so great, but the seed isn't so big that it's a real problem. You still get plenty of flesh. This is really the tail end of the Puebla season, so to speak. This is like mid-March, and so things are very mature. The skin on a Puebla is thin, like you might expect on these types, but it's what's really nice is, like, even compared to a Fuerte, it's very pliable. So if you're scooping, your spoon isn't gonna rip through the skin, and if you want to peel it, it peels very well. A lot better than some other thin-skinned avocados. The one other downside of Puebla is it does tend to be a bit stringy. That's no fun. But when you eat a piece, kind of makes it worthwhile. It's a really tasty avocado. You know how when bacon's matured, has like a nice flavor with just a hint of sweetness in the background? Puebla is kind of like that, except that it's far richer than bacon. Um, it's sort of like the richness of uh, an oilier avocado, like maybe a Hass or a Fuerte, but with just a hint of sweetness in the background, and it's got a fine texture. Other than the strings that you'll find in it sometimes, it's got a very fine texture too. But an awesome taste, awesome flavor. So that's your Puebla avocado.